So Trump is worried about people coming into the United States from Canada. Most Canadians don't understand the issue. And quite frankly, I don't. But Brian Lilley of the Toronto Sun does, which is why he's joining me right now. Because, I mean, it's not as though Canada is a hotbed for terrorists and they are flooding down into the States, or is it?
Kind of is, and this is part of the problem.
How long do we get all these terrorists? They're from the Middle East, not from Canada.
Because we just made it easier to get into Canada, and Canada is an easy backdoor entry into the United States. Look, compared to Mexico, are the number of people entering the U.S. illegally from Canada, is it smaller? Absolutely. It's about 9.3% of the problem, meaning Mexico is about 90.7% of the problem.
Right.
But when it comes to terrorism and people who are on terror watch lists, 87% of the people that came across the land borders, either the north or the southern border of the U.S., that went into the U.S., 87% last year who were on terror watch lists came from Canada. I'll give you the quick numbers. Let me read them off to you.
How can that be? Like, why are we such a hotbed of terrorists? Because we let them in.
Because we've made it easy to get into Canada. So last year, 410 people were stopped at either the northern or southern border trying to get into the U.S. who were on terror watch lists.
Right.
358 were from Canada. 52 were at the Mexican border. The year before, 564 people were stopped who were on terror watch lists. 484 were coming across the Canadian border. 80 across the Mexican border. It's an incredible difference.
This is stunning.
Yeah. So when the Americans say that there is a problem, we've got an 82% increase on people going across the U.S. border, declaring asylum.
Right.
Most of them, by the way, are Indian or Chinese nationals who come here on student or work visas and then just head to the U.S. and say, I'm a refugee. And then we've also got this problem where 87% of the people going across who are on terror watch lists are coming from Canada.
So really, it's not that people should complain about Trump so much and saying, oh, he's being so nasty to Canada. We brought it on ourselves by being, as Trudeau says, an open society, open country, allowing everybody in, and we aren't their real target. Well, the United States is their target, but they're getting there through us.
Look, Mexico is still the bigger target for these Trump tariffs and the threat.
Right.
But to sit here and say that there isn't a problem with the Canada-U.S. border is to deny reality. And I'm not going to say, oh, well, we deserve it or we brought it on ourselves or any of that.
I just said we deserve it. But we're letting them in.
Yeah, we are. But all we have to do, if we want to avoid the tariffs, deal with the problem that Trump has put forward. He says, deal with the illegal immigrants, deal with the terrorists, deal with the drugs. And if we do that, we can avoid the tariffs. If we want to bury our heads in the sand and just say, thump our chest and say, don't you know how much we trade with each other? Well, that's like when your wife complains that you leave the socks on the couch and you say, don't you know the garage is clean, honey?
On that note, Brian Lilley, you always put it in perspective. Thanks very much. 3 minutes. To those of you who have subscribed and donated, a heartfelt thank you. You're keeping us on the air. If you're watching and you haven't, please try to do so, because 4 years ago we started this show because there needed to be independent analysis. Now more than ever, with the Online Harms Act, once that gets into law, it's been passed once by the House, there are going to be hundreds of bureaucrats censoring the news in Canada, censoring this show. We need to keep it on the air. Thanks for your support.